Alright,
Hello
there we
and
go.
welcome, everyone. You should now see two of us. So I have brought along a guest that you can see up in the corner up there. That is Jimmy Byrd. Say hi, Jimmy.
Hello.
Jimmy is here, and we are going to be doing a little bit of pair programming today. So another fun stream. We always like our pair programming streams here. I apologize for putting you on the spot right now, Jimmy, but why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about you, what you're interested in, that kind of stuff?
Alrighty, so I am Jimmy Byrd. I'm a developer over at Binary Defense. We actually write software that looks for malicious activity on people's computers. And some of the things that we do to facilitate helping looking for that information is doing web services written in F#, .NET Core, and Mono. And so I have quite a bit of experience using a lot of the Linux side of a lot of these techs. And so I usually do F# now, but this will be fun trying to do some C#.
Sounds good. Welcome. I notice people are streaming into chat. We've got a handful, so welcome everybody. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic Thursday so far. It is May 31st, so we are pretty much out of May now, and it is time to write some code. So for those of you that don't know, here on the stream, I want to give a little bit of a background here. We do a lot of our own, we build a lot of our own stuff here, and we throw all of that out on GitHub at github.com/DevChatter. And you can actually go there, you can contribute to the project, you can report issues, you can send us pull requests, you can fork it and use the code. Your involvement is really whatever you want it to be. You could also just sit here and watch as we stream and build things with it. I will usually talk about anything we bring in as a pull request. So speaking of, I do want to merge in our outstanding pull request that we've got. And by outstanding, I just mean that it exists, not that the code is all that spectacular. So the pull request I'm going to merge in first is the one that we just did in our previous stream, working on the results page. So we set it up so that we show our results of the matches that are played in our competition. We did this on stream last time, and I will briefly show you all what we did. Essentially, we changed it so that we returned like a full result object so that we could display the individual matches that were done by each bot against each other bot, so we could say who the winner was. We're probably going to elaborate on that more and add some additional detail, but that's what we set up for now. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this in, and then I will go ahead and get us over to the master branch to start for the day, and we will make a new branch from there.
Sounds good.
Nice, Tommy. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the rock, paper, scissors project. We're going to go over to master, and we are going to pull latest. Why do I have a change to that project? Did I forget to commit something? That'd be bad. How did it build and run then? Well, I guess we'll... I am confused. Well, we'll do this then. Get stash.
There you go.
I'm going to pull that down. So we're going to go ahead and stash that, pop it back off again, and see what we end up with. It says no changes. So perhaps that file did make it in there, and there was just some weirdness with Visual Studio wanting to hang on to it. We'll see in a second. I see the project there, so looks like it probably worked. Let's go ahead and build and see what is going on. Oh, Jimmy, did you get kicked out of the share?
Let's see. Not exactly sure. Yeah, it looks like it just did kick me out.
Yeah, when we reloaded the solution, it must have kicked you out. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to you again. We'll bring Jimmy back in here.
Yeah, I've noticed that happens quite a bit with any type of reloading.
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, what we're doing here is I am essentially sharing access to my Visual Studio with Jimmy, and that allows him to actually come in and write the code. I will point out this is a preview. This is a public preview, so this isn't like beta. This isn't anything like that. This is a really early release. Did you get the new link and get in here, Jimmy? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Why don't you put your cursor somewhere on the screen so everybody can see where it is? I don't see you in here right now.
It's still loading up.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now you're in.
Yep.
So, okay. Jimmy's allowed in here. So go ahead and click somewhere on this screen where I am in the game runner here, so everybody can see what that looks like. Oh, there. So Jimmy is able to type right in here, so you'll see his cursor. And what's interesting about that is he and I can have cursors, and they can actually go at the same time. So, like, I can type up here while he's down there. And so editing the same file at the same time isn't super useful, but it definitely lets us collaborate because I can mouse over and look at stuff while he is still working on things. So it's a little better than just doing a basic screen share. We're not seeing Jimmy's perspective, but what's cool is he actually can go and open up files that I don't even have open. So he can go and he can work in another place, and he doesn't actually have a copy of the code, really. I mean, he doesn't have a workspace. He didn't clone this from the Git repository or anything like that. So it's super, super nice. It's still got some bugs. That's part of why, like, reloading, for example, kicked him out. It would be nice if it didn't do that, but again, we're in an early version. There's also some weirdness with IntelliSense sometimes. But generally speaking, I think this is going to really change how we do pair programming, especially with remote people. Let's see. This feature has made pair programming code reviews so much easier, so much nicer. Yes, exactly. So one person could be updating the test while the other person's writing the implementation, if you guys have decided on how that works. So you want me to follow you, Jimmy? Why am I following you?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just actually clicking around trying to make sure I understand all the different buttons because they're a little bit not obvious.
Yep. Okay, cool. So we are ready to write some code in here. So,
all right.
Rock, paper, scissors, boom. I am going to go ahead and well, first off, why don't we figure out what this thing is erroring about? www root. Did I get rid of www root?
That's a good question.
I don't know, but I don't think I need it.
I see things in there. I see lots of assets.
Well, I deleted it anyway because I don't think we need it.
All right.
To be honest. What would be in there in this project? This is just the example bot. It literally needs to return back JSON data.
And yeah, that one doesn't have a www root for me.
Okay, that's good then. Oh, it's a NuGet reference. That's what's going wrong with it. Okay, so here is the problem. I need to edit this project, and I am betting it is because stop following Jimmy. Compile. Oh, that's weird. It's trying. Look at how it's trying to remove that. It's like forcefully trying to remove that version. I think we don't need the code generation piece anymore. I think. Let's go ahead and try to build. So keep in mind, we have been using .NET Core 2.1 on here, and I just updated to the final release version of that. So, hooray, that fixed the error. Pair programming, they missed a great opportunity to call it code operability. Oh, code operative.
Nice.
Oh man, yeah, no, that was terrible, Tommy Two Toes. I want to make a new branch called .NET 2.1. Create branch. Let's take a look at the other project real quickly. So both of these projects are using, version RC final. Let's get rid of that. And I think we don't need this code generation piece anymore, if I remember correctly. But I know we don't need the RC final piece in there anymore.
You still probably want to pin to a good version though, don't you?
I don't think I need to. I think I'm just gonna grab. I think I'm just gonna grab the latest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it ends up being something different later, you don't want to be the rug swept from under you.
I think we can lock that later. For now, we're just gonna toss that because it's easy. Yeah. I can't pronounce that in my head all that well either. It's tough to say. WTF Blood, developer Desmond, Greendolf, Tommy Two Toes, Chusk, VFRZ. Welcome everybody. All right. So let's get these cleaned up. So this is adjusting versions of .NET Core. All right, cool. I will push that up. Let me go ahead. We're going to run this program just so that we can all see what it does. And then we can talk about it, and we can decide essentially where we're going to go with it today. So you'll notice I still have some of the garbage here that comes in with a default project. I haven't gotten rid of that yet. But essentially, if we go to the Run the Game page, rather than having a button for it, I literally just made it so refreshing this page actually just runs the whole competition, because we're going to, otherwise it's one extra button that I need to click while we're in this early development stage of this, so I save myself a button click every time. We're calling that efficiency right there. All right. Yes, efficiency. Mm-hmm. Nothing could, exactly. What could possibly go wrong with, literally running thousands and thousands of, comparisons when you get a page? Okay.
No, nothing at all.
Clearly nothing.
Optimize later.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like put in the nice stuff later. Okay, so quick explanation for anybody that doesn't know what we're doing here. I'm going to go ahead and get you the background on this. We are building a competition website that will allow anyone, you, me, your friend, your enemy, your rival, to create a bot that will compete in this game of rock, paper, scissors. And the rock, paper, scissors game has a slight adjustment to it. Rather than just having rock, paper, and scissors, we have added dynamite and water balloon. And dynamite is special. It beats all of the regular ones, so it will defeat rock, paper, and scissors. However, because that's very powerful, you're only allowed to use 100 of them in the course of a match. A match is played between two of these bots, and it consists of playing rock, paper, scissors 1,000 times. So 100 of those rounds, you could throw dynamite if you want. The catch is, dynamite loses if you throw a water balloon. So we also added a water balloon to this. The water balloon does beat dynamite. You can use as many of them as you want, but the problem with water balloon is it will lose to rock, paper, and scissors. So you only want to throw a water balloon if you're sure that your opponent is going to throw dynamite. So that is what makes, the game interesting, and makes it so you can put some intelligence in your bot. So, as its name suggests, Cleverbot is the best bot that we have in here. It's the only one that has any cleverness at all to it. Rocky, Paper, and Sharpie, and All Washed Up are terrible. So the middle ones actually everything after Cleverbot only throws one value, and if you can't guess what that is based on the name, then I need better naming. So okay, so that's
just a user experience problem.
Yes, exactly. Yes, clearly. The feature that we just merged in is showing these results down here. So it shows you for All Washed Up. This is the matches All Washed Up played, where it lost to everybody. Cleverbot defeated everybody. The Paperbot defeated Rocky and defeated All Washed Up, but then lost to Sharpie and Cleverbot. Rocky was able to defeat Sharpie, and all washed up, and that's it. And then Sharpie defeated paper and all washed up. So, as expected. So, and yeah, so that is that piece. Did I send that in? Yes, I did. So, Jimmy, why don't you, while I go ahead and get a pull request going, tell me what you want to work on here. What would you like to add to this? What seems missing?
Seems like we want to be able to just add, I would think, a random type of bot.
So, like, add a new bot, or you mean, like, add one that chooses randomly?
I think it's add one that chooses randomly.
Okay, we'll put in a random bot as another default bot that's in there for people to test against, we'll say.
So let's see.
So while that goes in there, why don't I will follow you for now.
Let's go in here and add a new file, I'm guessing. Let's do random bot.
Waiting to see my new file. Oh, there it is, random bot.
Let's see, well, we need to implement an iBot here.
Yep, it'll need to be an iBot.
I'm just going to copy because
I agree.
I don't feel like scaffolding too much. Random bot. Keep the name, and then now this is where we have to implement our function call, right?
Yep, sounds good.
I'm always going to forget C# syntax since I'm not too much in here anymore. Okay, so we probably don't even care about the previous result. I'm guessing this comes in as...
Yeah,
what's the semantics around this?
What do you mean?
So like how does this operate? Like what happens? Is this the previous decision? This is
yeah,
like
you can totally ignore
decision?
that if you just go in completely randomly. I would just ignore that.
Okay, cool.
So now what is in? Yeah, go ahead.
So all I need to do is look at all the different types of results, right? I have the 4 different. Where's the enum for it? Because I deleted it, didn't I? Let's see. Decision. So we have decision, and we have what? We have 4 different choices here, right? We have dynamite, paper.
Well, there's 5 because there's dynamite, rock, paper, scissors, and water balloon.
Right.
Then in theory, if you want, we could make an F# bot if you wanted to.
No, I'm fine. Let's just keep going this way. I think the next thing we'll probably end up doing is next time I come on, when this if we have the website fleshed out a little bit more, we'll end up using Canopy to do some UI tests.
Yeah, see, he's doing a let.
I know. Look at that. And it's also JavaScript. JavaScript has this now too. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the constructor syntax for C#?
Curly brace.
Is there curly brace for this? All right.
Yeah, you want to curly brace that instead of parens.
Oh, is it just all curly brace for it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep. And don't even need new in C# land or F# land.
Yeah,
so now we have our list. So we now have a list of decisions, right? And we want to just choose 1 to 5 or 0 to 4, essentially.
Basically, yes.
So let's see. You'll probably correct my imports thing there, but let's see.
Yeah, so keep in mind that Jimmy's actually in VS Code right now. Are you on a Mac, Jimmy?
I am. I'm on VS Code and a Mac.
Yeah.
So I get to do all the fun differences.
He's not even he's not even running Windows, I don't think.
All
right. Oh, hey, Cracker40, welcome.
That is the wrong one. Let's do that.
Greendolf says F# or riot.
Of course.
It actually wouldn't be. It would be pretty good with this because it's good at F# should be good at sets and things like that also.
Is this inclusive or exclusive? I don't really know off the top of my head.
Oh, that's exclusive, I believe. Let me check though, because his IntelliSense is a little weird. Max value, and it says exclusive upper bound. So, so we want that.
All right, cool. Then let's just do the fun part here. Watch it blow up.
Decisions. Yeah, so the fun part about this is this bot right now is going to cheat. So what we're going to do in order to make this bot not cheat is this is actually going to trigger us to, yeah, Developer Desmond, there's only 100 dynamites. So that's the rule we're going to go start enforcing as soon as we allow this bot in. Because right now, this bot's going to cheat.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, because we don't actually restrict to only 100 dynamites just yet. We didn't write that code.
Oh, then that's something we're going to have to enforce soon enough.
That's why we're going to. We knew we were going to add it soon. There's a lot of rules about the game that we haven't actually enforced yet. So that one's in there.
So where we have to go for is in the pages for that particular.
Yeah, just go to run the game page. That'll be the page you'll want to open up.
Yeah, I did a little scouting in here.
Should probably be added to the prior result context. Actually, we're going to make the bots track that themselves. So the game is going to enforce it because it's going to be keeping track of how many bombs you have used. However, you also need to check it. You need to keep track of it yourself. We could tell you if we wanted, but which maybe we should and be nice, but we aren't just yet. Okay. Actually, why don't we give random? Why don't we just have random bot name itself? Because no one's gonna make their own random bot.
Oh, come on! I want to be Rando Carisian.
Okay. Well, here let's make him Rando Carisian by doing this. So equals Rando Carisian.
All right.
There you go. Now he's permanently Rando Carisian. Anytime you use a Rando bot. So random bot is now one of the bots that we're running, and he is going to cheat because he's a cheater. Big old cheater. Client-side check and server-side enforcing. Yeah, basically, Tommy, that would be like, essentially we would tell you to check on your own, but we're checking on the server anyway. So if you're smart, you're keeping track of it and not throwing extra dynamites. Yep. So let's go ahead and take a look at the code running. And actually, I'm going to merge this in right now. That was our version update that we did. So we're going to do that. And then I'll do the same stash and update on master that we did before. Let's see, run the game. See, look, I get to click this button, and now I don't click a second button. Also, when I do the get decision context, it gives you the set of decisions you are allowed to even return. Oh yeah, Chusk. That'd be a good point if we gave them the collection of those. The only challenge there that I would have with that, Chusk, is that we're probably going to be doing these in web requests. So the smaller we can get them, the better. Since we're probably going to do a SignalR connection and do get decision 1,000 times every bot is played, so we probably want to keep that to a minimum. Hence, we'll be making you keep track of stuff yourself, probably. So how did it do? Rando Carisian, 3-2. Wow,
not bad.
It's right in the middle again. So it's apparently just as good as choosing one thing and sticking with it. It's probably the water balloons that are killing it.
Probably.
The extra dynamites are nice, but the water balloons always lose. Wait a minute. Did Cleverbot lose to Rando? Oh my god, it might have. Rando beat Cleverbot. Oh no. Cleverbot's been defeated. Oh man. That's terrible. How did these things happen? Alright. So let's go ahead and do a couple of things. First off, do we want to make RandoBot any smarter? Because I kind of want to tell it not to ever throw the water balloon. Because that just seems like a bad idea.
Maybe. I mean, it's always just kind of randomly. Are we trying to make it a little bit smarter? We should probably go for a whole nother smart bot.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna mess with those. There we go. Alright, RandoBot seems reasonable. And I love how we just initialize its random right here, and we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
It works.
We could do it once per startup on class.
I
probably a good
actually
idea.
think it would be useful to have. So if we made a base class for bots, I think they're all going to need some element of randomness to help them out a little bit. Like if you want some randomness, I think it will be helpful to have it. Does that make sense? Like a little helper,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
random, you know. I think those are something that pretty much everything except for our paper, like because everybody's like, I need a random one from this set. That seems either like it should be on the decision object itself, or in a base bot class. One of those two.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost we're looking at coincidence then rather than something as a pattern still.
Could be. Um,
That's what it seems like to me.
so here's the reason
Just
I
because
bring
we
that up.
are implementing only random bots at this point.
Yeah, true, but everybody needs an element of randomness so their opponent can't predict what they're going to do. Like sometimes you really do want something that even you can't control what it is.
Hmm.
Where's Cleverbot? Game bots, Cleverbot. So here's the problem. Cleverbot right here is returning rock. I don't know if you're following me, but you can click. You
Yep.
can always, yeah, okay. Um, he returns rock if he thinks you're going to throw a water balloon.
Right.
So I'm like yeah, he technically should choose probably rock, paper, or scissors randomly on that, but don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But it's almost like is this a set of coincidence? It seems still like one to me
Yeah, could be.
until we write a few more bots.
Okay, sounds good. We'll delay that one. Let's go ahead and add this bot. So we're going to add random bot. But before I do that, I am going to go ahead and get us on master branch, pull down latest, which it should be fine doing because that should just be a fast forward, which it was. Adding random bot. I can type. We'll call that random bot because random bot's actually where we're going to bring in the dynamite restriction. This is where random bot's
Sounds good.
suddenly going to start losing, I think.
Hmm.
Once we tell it that, literally a fifth of its choice, like a tenth of its choices are going to lose all of a sudden because it's like, nope, you don't have dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to the game runner. And then the question actually becomes for random bot, you might be willing to still claim that it's random, even if you apply the random from valid choices could be a thing.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to definitely
Yeah.
choose there's gonna have to be some filter.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. So, why don't we? So the game runner does a calls through. So I'm not a big fan of how we've got the code right now, but let's jump in here.
Mm-hmm.
Please allow ReSharper. We're running C# 7.2, you idiot. So please allow us to use it. Okay. So right now we get the decision for them. Pass that in. Before we determine whether or not they win, we should check to see if they have enough dynamite. Right?
Mm.
So I'm thinking the check should be like here.
So if it's in the round runner, so this round is just one particular thing that happens and matches a bunch of rounds together. All right.
Yeah, so this just does an individual round. So this is like one time playing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that. That's what this does. It does a single rock paper scissors check, basically. Tommy Two Toes, you are correct. Unseeded random can be predicted. However, the C# random, if you don't provide a seed in the constructor, it actually does seed it using a time-based seed. So
If you really want to go to, we can use the system cryptography random generator there. If you really want to get some random bits.
yes, so, yeah, there are better randoms than this, but I think it's good enough for the bot. And yeah, I apologize, everybody. I'm plugging in my headset, so I won't hear Jimmy for a second. However, I do think this is a good spot to put this. Let's see. Bot idea. Multibot. A bot that multiplexes its decisions across a given set of child bots, returning the most common choice. That'd be an interesting one. Although I'm not sure I would go with most common every time. Only because some of these bots are stupid. There should only be a 10% chance of dynamite as opposed to rushing to the 20% in the random bot. Yeah. Yeah, Developer Desmond, you are correct, especially since you're only going to have 100 of them. You want to have them distributed more evenly. But remember, that one's just random, so you're thinking of a smarter bot. Okay, so let's put this in here. So
I guess one thing I have to ask before I'm not exactly sure of is how many matches are these people going to, or how many matches are these bots going to play? They're going to play so many against everyone that's coming against them, and they only have 100 for every bot? Or like, what's the limit? How many rounds?
So there's going to be 1,000 rounds played between each bot. So
Okay.
each bot is going to face each other bot in 1,000 rounds of rock paper scissors. So 10% of them can be dynamite.
Okay.
Yep. So not super crazy. Okay, so we may need to do a little bit of refactoring with this, but here's what I'm thinking. So our bots are the ones that are in memory inside of our class library, so I feel a little bit safe with that bot object having its own set of values for the for keeping track of how many dynamites it has available. And the reason I say that is because most of the bots are going to be that web-based one. So, for example, a web API bot, if we're going to talk to you as a web API. So this, right now, we're just using an HTTP client, but we're going to use SignalR instead, so it's a consistent communication, so it's much faster and better in a lot of ways. But this is actually going to be the class that would keep track of your number of dynamites then, if we actually had it on the bot. You know, if we said, like, dynamites used, for example, as a value on there.
Yeah, so are we, who's also going to be implementing these bots? Is it actually going to be people that we can trust?
Our code base, our repository will be the only one that has one that's actually implemented in C# in our code.
Okay.
Anybody else's, they can still, they'll be able to like reference, they could reference it if they want and use iBot if they want. But keep in mind that they'll be running in a separate they'll be running in a separate project, separate process on a separate server somewhere. So they will not be running in our code.
Okay. So, yeah, because I'm wondering if tracking, letting them track themselves is the best idea.
I think it is, because it's the only ones that are going to really do that are like Cleverbot, for example. So I'm going to trust that bots in our own code base won't be cheating. Sorry, Developer Desmond, you can't link in chat. The Nightbot will probably stab you with its sword. Alright, so let's go ahead and add that.
So bots are going to need that property now.
Well, why don't we check is valid move, or is valid decision, right? And we'll pass in P1 decision and player 1. Decision is valid decision, right? So then we can say, and I like putting it this way because there might be something. I mean, we could say Yagni on this, but is valid decision seems like a legitimate thing. We might check more than just that they have dynamite available. So why don't we say if decision equals... So right now, we're just saying if their decision was dynamite, right?
Yep. Then make sure they have more than 0 dynamite.
Yeah, exactly. If the decision is dynamite, then return... it's a valid decision if it's not, so I'm going to say return true here. And here I want to say return... what would it be? 100 minus bot dot dynamite used.
Okay, we're keeping track of that. Yep.
Yeah, if we just keep track of dynamite used, then we should be able to do that. So 100 minus dynamite used is greater than 0.
Yep.
That seems like a good check.
Yep.
True if it wasn't dynamite. So basically what that means is that for this is valid decision, these are things that could potentially make it invalid, and if, you know, right now there's only one, but we could add more in this same fashion, and then do that. So if we, for example, change the rules in some way,
yeah, for some reason we say that, like, you've thrown rock 1 million times. You can't throw rock anymore for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, for example, like we might change up the system. We might add in a new thing other than dynamite. Maybe put parentheses just for better readability. Okay, sure. I'll add parens. I assume you mean right here. Thank you for the suggestion, Cracker40. We'll put that in there. Makes it a little bit clearer that we're returning a Boolean result based on what that is. Alternately, I could actually put it in a variable, too. We'll say, is any dynamite remaining? There we go. So, if there's any dynamite remaining, let's go ahead and try this then. Oh, you meant that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not really clear what the order of operations is.
It's not. It's not. I agree. I would have flipped it around and put the compare at the front of the expression to make it clear it was a bool. Oh, so if 0 less than, like that, you're thinking. Make the simpler one there.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm used to writing it the other way, so I'm going to get confused if it's like that. It's about the same.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if we had an invalid choice, invalid decision, then they can't win. Neither can the other one if they had it. So what I want to do is this. I know that this is multiple checks, so I am going to pull this out and say player 1 invalid, and we're going to say player 2 invalid. And the reason I'm pulling this out is I don't want to have a situation where player 1 can lose first, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were both... so we're going to say if they're both invalid, we return a tie. Right? Also, what did you do? Else if...
Yeah, we should probably have a reason that we return along with it.
Yeah, we probably should have a little bit more clarity than we've got here. So, so I'm going to do, whoops, an if true for now until we put the actual one, and an else if, else if true. So we're going to have 2 of those, and then in this one, instead of this, it's going to be player 1 is invalid, player 2 is invalid. So we got to handle the case where either one could have made it fail.
So is this a different type of game? How do we want to handle this? Is this something we want to throw out the game, or if you've cheated, you lose?
Oh, actually, I just realized. Hang on. No. You're just so if you played an invalid thing, you're just gonna lose this round.
Okay.
So we'll say if player 1 is invalid, then the winner is player 2, without any other checks. And we might be able to refactor this to make it simpler. If player 2 is invalid, player 1 is the winner. And then that's all we have to do. If, else, if, else, if, else, if, else, if, else. That's handled by the first case right here. That's a tie, Tommy Two Toes. You were both invalid, and we say I don't even know what you guys were thinking. You're idiots. Okay, so that code clearly needs refactoring, but I think it works.
Yeah, it seems like it would be working as long as ties don't set a winner.
We got to fix these first. Yeah, ties, we don't set a winner. So that's how you can tell that there's a tie. There was no winner. Yeah, Till. Thanks. It is great if-else if there. So you're not allowed to cheat if you don't win. Yes, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, as they say. Alright, I am going to add that base class. As much as... So someone a long time ago was like, hey, why'd you make an interface instead of a base class? And I said, we'll probably end up with an abstract class at some point, because something will need to be shared. And I specifically want to have that int get shared by all of these, so they don't each have to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if we're going to say that that's going to get shared, would it also make sense for that base to handle the decrement or incrementing?
Probably, yeah. So let's go ahead and make a class. We're gonna make an what do we want to call this? Base bot?
Sure.
I don't really like that name yet, but I like base when it's an abstract base class. I like prefixing with that because it makes it just a little bit easier. Developer Desmond, I can absolutely show you how to do that language change thing, but we're going to do this for now. So ask me on our Discord, and I can answer that pretty easily. For anybody that is interested, we have a Discord that I just linked in chat over there. So if you are interested in chatting with us after the stream, that is the best place to do it. So I'm going to make this abstract base class basebot. Ooh, do we actually want it to implement iBot or not? If we do, then it gets name.
We can make that abstract, right?
We can make it abstract, and then they have to write the word override. Alternately, we could do a protected set. For example, actually, you know what? They can set it in their constructor, I think, can't they?
I'm not exactly sure of the semantics.
All right, we'll do a protected set. So we'll allow the bot to set its own name. This will have a private. If we do a private setter, then that means that this can only be done through a method that actually alters the value. If we do that on the base spot there, and this
that
certainly is abstract.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I was gonna say then the iBot needs to be able to have a private set then, or needs to get rid of it.
Oh yes, good point. It doesn't need it. It just needs to get.
Yep.
Good call. Good call. Okay, so we need. For anybody that doesn't know, integers in C# initialize to 0. We need methods. So why don't you get us a method to use a dynamite?
Ooh, dynamite using method. Are we doing it on this abstract class?
It's just gonna increment that by 1.
All right.
literally all it's going to do. Yeah, I would put it in here and just say that.
If I can spell.
Spelling is not important.
Okay. Should we care?
Let's put it in. Let's actually put it right in here.
Yep.
So I'm going to do that. So we're going to say use dynamite.
Say, do we need? Yeah, do we actually need to pass the decision? No.
No, we don't need to. We just need to say that they use dynamite.
Okay.
Hey, Crimson Green, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic Thursday. So I think that works. We're now going to have to write override on all of our get decisions, though, which isn't a huge problem. We just need to make everything use base spot. So why don't you start from the bottom of that list, and I'll start from the top, and we'll meet in the middle.
Sounds good. This is the best choice for refactoring.
Yes.
Right here.
So right now, what you don't see off screen is that Jimmy is in other files making some of his own changes. Oh, whoops, I did the wrong thing. So we're basically dividing and conquering right now.
This is the best use of awk I've ever done.
Clever bot. We no longer need that.
All right, should be good.
Wait, which ones did you get?
I think I got them all.
Wait, you got them all? I don't.
Unless it's not showing them through.
Oh, you got all the overrides. Cool. Yeah.
Yep. All the overrides.
Yep. Nice. Well done.
So.
Base bot. Base bot. So the weird part is, as I mentioned, Jimmy doesn't have his own copy of this code. That's not how VS Live Share works. He is actually modifying the code that's on my machine. So he's literally changing mine. So I actually have to click save for anything he changes. That's the weird part.
Yeah, that's one weird one.
All right, so we need to say name equals and then rando Carissian. Whoops. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just doing a little bit of cleanup here. And paper only, get rid of the name because it was in the constructor already. So that's actually fantastic, these ones that are like that.
Yep, that works.
And then that one, and then base bot. And then the only thing that's left, I think, is our web API bot, which is the one that calls out to that. This is also a base bot. Oh, you did in project. There we go. Name, and there we go. I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and build. We'll check. Will LiveShare does make a local copy that keeps in sync with users. Yes, Greendoff. Obviously, he has to have a copy of the files locally, otherwise it doesn't work at all. But yes, it is applying changes he makes back to my copy.
Oh, so when we're doing that, use dynamite, right? Should we actually do that? Keep track of that in the round runner? Should we call it there?
Yep, yes. That's what I was thinking.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Why don't you go ahead and do that, and I will jump over to the file too.
Let's see. Let me think through this. So we're going to have what? We're going to start with 100. We're going to want to get the decision. We're going to make sure that it is a valid decision when we get through all those little things. So, So we kind of need, what, like an else section down here and then handling it? Because we want to get through the decisions. Oh, so if they played it, this is going to be a choice. So do we want to actually do it in the is valid decision? Because if we do it anywhere else, we're going to end up with potentially duplicating this code. Like, we don't want to do it in the valid check though. That seems very weird. That should only be returning a result rather than not modifying.
We'd have to do it before we checked validity. It has to happen before we check validity.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we need to. No, it has to be right after we check validity because we don't want to.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'd
no.
remove it before it was checked. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Like, should we do it in the? We have to basically have an else section there for doing that. Because would we want to? We wouldn't want to increment past 100. Is there?
Yeah. So
Would we care?
let's change how this works a little bit. If we're in an invalid case, we don't care. So why don't we do this? Let's adjust the logic, which I think we can safely do here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna say if either of them. So I'm gonna make this an or. If either one is invalid, then we're gonna do this code.
Okay.
So if either is invalid, that way the else is right there, right?
Yep.
So then these are the else's on that.
Yep.
At which point we could do this. We could else and then make this be collectively the else.
Yep.
Right? So it was either valid or invalid. This is how we handle the invalid case. This is how we handle the valid case. I think that's definitely a lot clearer.
So should we create another function for basically saying apply whatever rules we're kind of saying? So like if a person uses the decision of dynamite, then we use dynamite. We're increment their dynamite count. So we encapsulate that.
Yeah, I think we should do that right down here inside the else. Just apply their dynamite usage.
Now, I was thinking about just having a separate function for it.
No. We need to do it at the end.
Okay.
And I'll explain why. What we don't want to have happen is so let's say that you and I both try to use dynamite, but I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
You still used your dynamite. So just because I played an invalid dynamite doesn't mean you didn't use yours. So let's grab the round result one.
So the full round still applies even if it is a real invalid. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm thinking this. So apply dynamite usage based on the round result is what I'm thinking. To bots. So apply dynamite usage to bots. I think is a name that makes sense. Question, what do you think this does? Let's confirm my name.
It applies dynamite usage to the bots. Potentially.
Well, I mean, I guess my question is, yeah, it does it if they used it.
Yes. And so so we only want to look at the round winner. No, we need to still look at both players. Yep.
So if
there is a winner.
No,
if anyone. Yeah,
if anyone used it, yeah.
Yep. If anyone used it.
Yeah. So round result: if player 1 played equals dynamite, then round result dot player 1. Do we not? Is that not available on this because it's not the base?
It's oh yeah, it's not on the base. It's only on the base.
Okay.
So should we just end up putting that on the interface?
Oh yeah, I guess we could put that on the interface. Yeah, let's put it on the interface. Good call.
Yeah,
good call. So we'll go into this, and then can I pull this up?
Yep.
There we go. Yep, that's the one. Click. Okay. Use dynamite. So now, back here, I don't want to be in the round result, I want to be in the runner. Oh, good, you're making the change already. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Good job. Now let's do the same thing on the other.
Wow. Let's keep my caps lock on.
Alright, let me check out what chat said. If it spams all dynamite in a row, it might maybe. So Tommy, Two Toes, and Greendorf are asking if there would be a way to force a tie or something like that, and the answer is no. The reason, well, okay, if two bots were only throwing dynamite, yeah, they'd end up with a tie, but that's, I think, what you'd expect. And you'd also call them idiots, again, because why are you constantly trying to throw dynamite? Okay, so player 2 used... Okay. So, there we go. So that should use dynamite, and then we check dynamite remaining. Technically, we don't need this here. I'm going to remove it because it's weird. So, if they both were, if one is, if that is, there we go.
All right. So the one thing I'd like to say is this under test?
There are some tests on things, including the Round Runner. I believe has some tests.
Okay. So this sounds like definitely something we need to test for.
Yes, we do. The question is whether we want to test these individually or just test the whole thing. I think we'll just test the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's fine testing like use cases for this. Like if we threw dynamite, did we end up applying dynamite?
Oh, actually, I need to rename this. Actually, I'm going to commit this and then put the tests in separately. Everybody will know that we didn't test first on it. So
that's fine.
Honesty,
we'll just reorder the commits later.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody hear that? Yeah, you didn't hear any of that. Nothing. We do everything in the correct order here. Didn't do any of that. No, I'm not that much of a stickler for like. In some cases, it's like, yeah, if you don't know your interface or something like that, and you want to make sure your code is testable, yeah, you should do it test first and things like that. And it definitely should be every time when you're doing that kind of thing. But for this, like when you've got an idea in your head of how you want to do something, sometimes it makes more sense to write the code first so you don't lose that and have to context switch. Okay, so so in this we added a base bot, right? That's what we did here.
Yes. Yep.
For handling dynamite usage. That's really why we were forced to add it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm actually going to push that up so that everybody can get this. So you all are actually able to see the code out on GitHub while we're working if you want to. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's just the basic. These should win over that. Okay. Let's make a new fact for this. Yeah, I didn't want to make those all as separate ones on that because I was like, this is basically just that each bot, like, the types beat each other. And there's not an easy way to do that with parameter and doing a list of, basically doing a theory. So I want to do a public void. It should return... valid should return all right, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out what that name is in a second. Food.
Because what we're looking for is should use dynamite. If dynamite is thrown, it should use dynamite.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. So dynamite usage happened.
Yeah. Should increment dynamite used.
Yeah, increment mint dynamite given dynamite usage. All right, so we don't care about the round result then. We just want to do a round runner dot run round. Right round, baby.
Yep.
Right round like a record. So dynamite only bot. Here's what we're going to do to make sure that it is right. We're going to grab dynamite only bot, and then what I actually want to store with this thing is I want to say dot dynamite used. I want to store this as int previous usage, right? And then
yes,
we're going to have run around with it in there against, say, the rock only bot.
Now, the one thing I gotta ask is, because I'm unfamiliar with C# semantics around some of this stuff, for XUnit, when you have instances of this for each fact, does it recreate them?
Oh, you're talking about my fields.
Yeah.
No, it will not create. I will not
Okay.
recreate my fields, I don't think.
Okay. Yes. So, okay.
That's why I did this.
Okay. Yep. Makes sense.
So,
Because we might get into a scenario here where if we end up running this too many times, we might get into invalid operations.
yeah, luckily I don't think we're going to run 100 tests.
You
Let's
never
not
know.
run 100 tests. Okay. If we do, then that'll be funny, and we'll laugh about it together.
Yeah, I think there's a setup, our previous setup you could probably throw those constructors into.
Well, 2 tests failed. Well, we did just modify the code, so that's not all that surprising. Expected rock win.winner to be Rocky, but we found null.
Yay!
Interesting. So this one failed right here.
So we should have run our tests before we committed.
No, it doesn't matter. We'll fix it. The nice thing is, if we really wanted to, we could amend these on, and no one would know the difference. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to step into the round runner, and we're going to take a look at what it actually does. So let's debug in, see what we did. Was one of these decisions invalid?
Oh, I think we have them backwards.
We might.
We have this logic backwards because they're going to be valid.
We're saying we wrote invalid. Yeah.
We have it backwards. Is decision valid? And it says isn't valid.
Well,
so
that's
we'd have
why
to
you
not
test
them.
it, huh?
Yep.
So we're going to say is invalid decision. Once I change that, now we're going to go down to the code and flip it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say less than or equal to, whoops. Actually, if we leave it that way, I could flip it, but I'd rather do less than or equal to 0. So we'll say, whoops, out of dynamite is invalid decision. Return false out of dynamite. Running test before it commits. Who does that? Saduki. No, I didn't do anything. You saw nothing. We're gonna amend so no one knows the difference anyway.
Right. We didn't push, right?
Actually, I think we did, but
force push. It's fine.
See, the funny... delete them. Yes, good suggestion there, Greendolf. We'll just delete the video. No one will know the difference.
It's on the internet. It didn't happen. Is that how it goes?
Yes, once it's on the internet, it didn't happen. I'm sure that's what it was. Let's see if we got it right. That's why the tests are here. They made sure that we got that. See? There we go. All right, increment dynamite given dynamite usage. Okay. Given, I want to say 1 dynamite usage.
Sure.
Whoops. Alright, increment dynamite given 2 dynamite usage. So we'll have them both use dynamite. So they're both going to be the same bot, which means that it's actually going to get incremented twice.
Yeah, and this will... We should also... Should we keep this one? Yeah, we should keep this one to just this. Because this will actually end up being a tie, too. But we don't need to test that in this case.
Yeah, I don't think we need to test who wins.
Yeah.
But it should increment whether it's a tie or not. So... should increment dynamite given 2 dynamite usage. Alright, let's run these. I like how it claimed that first test hadn't been run yet, given all I did was rename it. Couldn't tell that that's all we did. Alright, next thing we want to do. So the incrementing worked.
Yep, making sure that we don't increment on other choices.
Let me rename this because I noticed this was wrong. Run round should. There we go. We had our name wrong on that file. Oh, actually, yeah. I wish I hadn't done that. I won't worry about it. And just so I can't get out of it and we actually have to admit that we did this out of order, I'm actually going to do my commit now. Testing the code. Totally did this first. F# bot, what is very sneaky and make other bot use F words? Good suggestion, Janiscu. Okay.
See, what I'd probably do is I'd start, if I wanted to go down the path of making a bot for this in F#, there's something called FS check. And what I'd probably do is have that generate a bunch of decisions and try to fine tune my optimal algorithm around figuring out what should I throw.
Yep. There's some interesting things. I'd love to see what people build on this. So that confirms the incrementing works. I want to confirm that we do it when it's invalid.
Good call.
Even when invalid. So I need a new bot. Did we ever make a fake bot anywhere?
No. So renaming that file made it really weird through VS Code.
Oh, did it? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Maybe you can close and reopen the file?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Fake bot. Fake bot will be an iBot. It's just going to be able to have its dynamite used get set. Use dynamite. I guess we can implement this for real on this thing. So we'll say dynamite used ++. And what do we want to have it return here? Do we want to set this value? So we'll just give it a property for it. Let's actually make you give it to it in the constructor.
For some reason, I can't follow you anymore, but I'll just look over into the Twitch stream.
Oh, here. Maybe now you can see it. I might not have saved the file, maybe?
Maybe. Nope, still not showing up.
Okay, well, don't worry about it.
Yep, we'll get there.
Alright, so fake bot will only ever return the value that you tell it to. Increment dynamite even when invalid. So we're going to go ahead and make this do a... Well, actually, it's when opponent is invalid, right?
Yeah, so our fake bot wants to have already 100 used.
So we're going to have him try to use dynamite. Did we already have a fake bot somewhere?
No, I think that's just a namespace, is it?
Oh, because it's fake bots and a fake bot. Yeah. Whoops.
Yep.
That was my bad. That was supposed to be fakes. Why did I name that? There we go. Fakes. Fixed. Fixed it. Alright, so now we have that. Let's get this on its own file, or its own line. So we're going to create an object for that, because we need to say fakebot.dynamite used equals 100. Actually, it's a good point. We could just object initialize that.
Yep.
Okay,
cool.
So that one's going to attempt to use dynamite, and then that should happen. And then this one should have incremented one time. but also so should the fake bot one, because it should have applied that for both of them.
In this case, it wouldn't apply, right?
No, it's, I think it's going to apply anyway, though, isn't it?
I
Even
don't
if we
think
try
so.
to
I
use
think
an extra?
I think we wrote it so it wouldn't.
Sudoku. I apologize for not dancing. I have the sounds turned off for people. But thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome everybody. I noticed that we just got hosted by C# Fritz. So welcome everybody. We're writing some C# code over here. This is C#.NET Core, and we're in some XUnit tests right here for the code that we were just writing. And hopefully you're all having a fantastic Thursday and are looking forward to more coding. So for anyone who's just coming in, my name is Brendan. This channel is called DevChatter. And up in the corner we have a guest with us today. Jimmy, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
See, that's Jimmy. He is here to write code with us today. We're probably going to get Jimmy on here to do some F# stuff with us. That we were originally thinking about doing that today, but we figured let's start off simple, do C# for now. Jimmy primarily does stuff in F#, so we're giving him a little bit of fun, making him remember how to use C# right now.
Yeah, I have to fall back to Brendan to tell me what the syntax is for a lot of things.
It's fun.
You'll see me sneak in a let there, and forget semicolons.
Yes, semicolon, all the things. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and get a commit on this.
Yeah, as we were talking, I was looking over the code. Yeah, it looks like we would actually do that. And is that something we should do? Should we mark that they did try it?
I don't see any reason not to, right? We can increment the number. That's how many they tried to use.
Mm-hmm.
Testing that dynamites. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and push that up. So I want to give everybody a little bit of a quick explanation about the code that we're doing, because I know there are some people that are just coming in now. Essentially, what we're building is a competition application, which you and anyone else on the internet is going to be able to compete in this competition. And the way it's going to work is this. You are going to write some code that attempts to play rock, paper, scissors smarter than its opponents. So it's trying to win against a number of other bots that are going to be playing. Now, rock, paper, scissors is entirely random. When you're just doing, randomness from bots and things like that, there's not much smarts to it. So you might be saying, where's the strategy in that? What am I trying to figure out? And the short answer is, when we play this game, we're not following the standard rules. We have two extra pieces that I am going to mention by opening up this here. Now I'll show you the README on our project here. So essentially, when you face another bot, you're going to play 1,000 rounds of rock, paper, scissors against them, and that's your match. And in that, you can throw dynamite in addition to the standard rock, scissors, and paper. Dynamite will defeat rock, scissors, and paper when you throw it. However, it loses to water balloon. Water balloon is going to lose to rock, scissors, and paper. So you might be saying, well, dynamite's the best thing. I'll just throw that every time. And the problem is this. You're only allowed to throw 100 dynamites in the whole match. So you're going to play 1,000 rounds. 100 of them could be dynamite. So you will need to play some of the other options. Okay, so that's the idea. And some of them are already smarter than others. As you'll notice, now that Rando Carissian has stopped cheating, it now loses to Cleverbot.
Oh no.
So these are the random bots that we have built in. They're nice examples for how you could do these things. And if you want to run this yourself to test out logic, this is a good way to do it. But what we're actually going to have happen is we are going to set it so that when you want to add your own bot, you're actually just going to deploy this as a website. And what you will do is you will get asked for your move by our program. So this code here is going to call out to you and say, hey, here's what's happened so far, give us your move. And so it's just going to request a new move from you each time. So, okay. Let's take a look. So that code's running. That's deployed. Is there anything else we need to do for random bot and the dynamite handling that you can think of, Jimmy? Or anyone in chat, really?
Not off the top of my head. I think that covers kind of what we just handled right there.
Sounds good. Let's make a pull request then. So we're going to go ahead and send in random bot. So adding random bot and including dynamite restriction. So we just added in the restriction that you can only play 100 dynamites in a match. So I'm going to send that in, and our app there is actually going to go ahead and do a build, make sure everything works, make sure I didn't forget to commit anything, and tell us how that does. Okay. So what do you want to... Anything specific you want to try next in this?
Let's see. Do we actually have anything that does the web service stuff yet?
Yeah, we
do.
do.
You want?
So we have an example bot right here. So this is actually... so this is our response on our web request. So right now it just returns rock in this one.
All right.
It's really smart bot right here.
So basically, what's the model for this? So are we going to be registering a bunch of services with this service, and it would reach out to them?
Yeah. So essentially, we would give it you'd tell our program the URL of your bot.
Okay.
So you could just nest this on a site. You could put it at a subdomain, whatever you want. Just put it somewhere, and then just expect a call. Now, technically, in this case, because we're just returning with rock, you could actually just have a static page somewhere that was just JSON that said rock.
Yep.
Like, that would literally be enough. And I will show you what that looks like. So literally, you could just do this. So 673 is actually the value of rock in our system. Don't worry about why that is the case. Just know that it is. We're doing math. So
we're doing math. That's
we're
famous last words.
We're mathing things. You gotta love mathing things. So yeah, no problem, Greendorf. It works well. Greendorf actually wrote our math that does our calculation of who actually wins. Although I think I adjusted it on you, Greendorf. I think I did. Oh, famous Twitch words, right? Yes, exactly. This is actually the code that determines who wins. And these are the values on our decisions. Oh, nope, I didn't adjust them on you yet. But I think you can do this. Am I wrong? Greendorf, can I not get away with changing those values? I think I can do that. No, it doesn't, because we don't handle ties in here, do we? This doesn't handle ties. Ties are handled separately from this code. So I think we can get away with this. Let me try running the unit test. We'll see. You could be right. That's what the unit tests are here for. No. Ties are handled first. So if this says it won on a tie, round runner says... Yeah, so yeah, round runner checks that first. So I think we can get away with what I just changed there. Because the first thing we do is we check to see if it's a tie, and so if they pick the same thing, we called it a tie, and then we check the other ones. So they're on else's, so we're good. So okay. But no one look at that code. Don't worry about it. Just know that it's there, and don't try to understand it, because you don't want to. I mean, you can if you want.
Okay,
But
sweet. So we do have the example. So then, what do we get called with anything? Like, do we actually get? So if you're implementing the service, do you end up getting like the previous plays as similar to the other bots, or how does that work?
can you repeat that question?
So if we have one of these services stood up, when you call for what our decision is, do we actually get a record of all the previous plays in our match?
You're going to get just the one previous, so you're going to have
Okay,
to
one
keep
previous.
that in memory
That,
while you're running
okay,
it.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
so my plan for that is your bot will have to stay up. If your bot resets or something, then we're going to be like, well, your bot, failed. Like, sorry.
hmm
But I think what we'll do is we'll send you an initial. So we don't do this yet, but my thinking is we'll send you an initial thing and say, um, "Hey, we're starting," and then you can reset anything you've got when you get a "Hey, you're getting a new match," and then go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do we have like a match ID or anything that's sent as well, so we can actually keep state?
We could, yeah. So I don't send that, but we could definitely send a match ID. Um, that way, if more than one were running or something like that, if we wanted to parallelize things, that could be a way around it. Because
Yep.
that actually probably is a good idea, considering how many web requests we're going to be making. We could, for example, say that we want to open up like Signal are communicating with like say 6 bots at a time or something like just pick some arbitrary number and be like, yeah, we'll make like 6 connections at once.
Right.
So
Because what if we have slow bot, right? Like it's slowing all the matches down because they decided to throw a thread.sleep for 10 seconds?
yeah, so my thought also on that one is that we might want to have um, we might want to have some time limit that you have to respond within, which I'm worried about because we're making a web request, but I also kind of feel like we might need to do that.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to end up having some type of, you're going to have to place some limits that if you don't respond within a certain amount of time, you end up
Yeah.
losing that round. Or would that be the semantics around that? Or would that be the business case we want to have for that?
I don't know. We're gonna have to think about that one. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Let's go ahead and get that code that we just sent up merged in. If it succeeded, it did. Okay, cool. So this is the code we just changed together. I apologize to everybody. I'm just going to merge this one in so that we can work off of it because I think having that dynamite restriction in there is a really important one. So I want to have that in place now because it seems too central to things. So merging, delete branch. All right. What do we want to do next on this one then? Do you want to actually make example bot be an example bot?
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea.
So why don't we give it some smarts? Um, so you made a good suggestion, which was let's pass an ID, but why don't we skip that for now and we'll add that in later? And I'm going to add that as an issue over here.
Sounds good.
Add match ID to previous data. Allow bots to run multiple matches. Okay. So essentially, if we want to make this work, we need to find a way of sending data to them effectively in a get or a post or something like that.
Yep.
So
It probably makes sense to be in a post if we want to just make it simple JSON for both.
do we want to? I'm actually wondering right now. Do we maybe want to do a SignalR hub instead of what we've got here?
Do you want to limit people to SignalR?
Nope. So I guess we'll do this one and then do SignalR as the next one.
Yeah, because
So
I think having that as a thing that you could do is good, but I think limiting people to only have SignalR clients is probably Like you want to let people be able to implement this in Python or JavaScript or whatever.
Yeah. There actually is there. There might be. Makes me wonder whether or not they did implementations for any of the languages. I don't know.
I know someone was
Just
for a while keeping a SignalR 1.0 Python thing, but I don't know how maintained that was.
oh, okay. So here's the trick though. It's not a client necessarily, isn't it? Oh yeah, no, it would be because they could connect into. Well, no, because we don't want them connecting to us. We want to connect to them. I think. I guess you could go either direction on that. Because you'd want to call out to them to have them connect to you. That's the weird part. So they need to have the hub. They need to. And yes, there is an ASP.NET Core SignalR client. They posted the spec, so oh cool. You are writing one for Lua. That's kind of neat.
Oh, nice. That means Nginx could, or OpenRusty could end up having a SignalR base. That'd be interesting.
Okay, so we call through to this. We say get string async, pull that back, deserialize the object into the choice that they made, and return back their decision. The challenge here is we're not currently sending them their previous result. So how do we do that?
It's the HTTP client factory, so we end up having a client. So if we want to do it on a GET request, we'd have to pass it through a query string. Otherwise, we have to do this for a post.
Yeah, so why don't we try and post instead? I am going to go ahead and look up the documentation on that. So
I'm just going to fumble around with IntelliSense. How about that?
Sounds good.
Post as JSON async. Look at that extension method.
There you go.
Because I think you actually have to specify that URL and the value, huh?
So what's fun here is that we don't actually see Jimmy's IntelliSense while he does this. That's the weird part.
So you're going to see very strange code happening.
So this is how VS Live Share works, because it would be really confusing if we saw his IntelliSense and our IntelliSense at the same time. So they only show one of them.
So what's it complaining about? Would I not pass it?
So it says this is redundant, and we don't need this, so I'm going to remove that.
Yep. So, nice. Or is my IntelliSense just messing up? It's not clearing, I'm guessing.
Okay, so
I guess that makes previous result decision. Is that actually serializable though? Looks like it's just all data.
Round outcome is an enum. So it probably is, yes. 3 enums should be serializable.
Yep. Now just don't change the order of those unless we can specify values for those enums, can't we? We should probably do that. Just so we don't end up having order. Are they actually going to be named when we serialize them?
Yeah, it should be. It should say, like, outcome is that. And
okay. Yeah, that's why I'm not exactly sure. I want to make sure that we are sure.
We can take a look.
I'm not sure if it'll serialize to integers or serialize to the actual named value.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about either. So we'll find out. Okay, so this should be our raw choice here. So I'm going to make it that.
Yep.
We're going to comment that one out because we're doing it a different way now. This was not a... that's an HTTP response message, so actually that's not raw bot choice yet. So we're going to say string raw bot choice equals result dot content.
Is there not a body on it?
Read as string async. Is
yep.
there?
That could work.
Yeah, it should be content. read as string async. But again, we're not in an async method, so I am just going to force us onto the result, forcing the synchronous code. And once we make this actually an async method, we'll go back everywhere and make everything run async, and then we'll get that fixed. I never thought about this, but my puppy just accidentally ripped my left ring finger, so now I'm typing. Oh, that's weird. Serialization of enums should be configurable. They're using Newtonsoft behind the scenes.
Yep.
Yes. So we should be able to set some attributes on those.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what it is by default, what the serialization.
I think it's going to serialize to a number by default.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if we want to just stick numbers on them for now, just so if we don't order those, we don't end up messing something up for clients downstream or servers. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think it'll still have the name on the property, won't it? Yeah, because it's going to look like this. So this got serialized the same way as JSON. So decision,
okay.
and then that. So it'll be name and value. I think. Probably. Okay. So.
Oh no, I'm thinking that's what I'm talking about. The value is the value going to be an integer or a string?
It'll be an int.
That's what I'm saying. If we order them differently, won't they be different values?
No, they're hard coded to those values already.
Are they
special values? Remember we looked at those.
No, not the decision, but the there's that result too.
Oh, you're right. Yes, round outcome.
Yep, that one. We might want to tie to specific integers.
There we go. Now they are hard-coded to specific values. So now we can guarantee that they will be that, and everybody should be smart enough to know that that you don't do that. Spawn Hub TV, I have no idea if that's a compliment, so I will take it as one. Also, I will gladly accept $1 billion from anyone that wants to send it to me.
Can I have half of that?
Sure.
Yay.
Yes, Greendorf, let's have a meeting and make sure those numbers are good. Alright, okay, so we want to hop over. I just want to close a couple of things. Let's hop over here. So we think this is going to run. So let's add the Web API bot back into the page that actually runs this.
That's probably not going to work still, right? Because now it's... How is the page set up to handle that request?
The page is going to need to deal with it, but right now... Here's what we should be able to do is go to that page. We should be able to just handle a post, right?
Yeah, so that's where we need to change that.
So on post.
Yep. Do they do model binding here, or do we have to like read it off the response?
It's model binding for those. So essentially the front end page here, if you're whoops. I got weirdness, I can't open the page. So they've got some weirdness with Razor pages every once in a while. VS Live Share gets wonky, so you're the only one who can edit the CSHTML file now.
What?
Yeah, there's a bug. I ran into it with James at one point, which is now funny that I have Jimmy on here. And
so do we have access to that server? We say it is access to the core. Okay, so we do actually have access to that.
Yep.
So it was previous. What was that? Something previous something.
Yeah, it's previous something or other.
Previous decision result. How about that? So if they do model binding correctly, we should end up with this, hopefully. And then if we go ahead and save that for now, we should just return what we had before.
Yeah, in theory. We'll find out if it works.
Yeah.
Alright, so in order to get this running, I am going to go ahead and start up example bot. So I'm just going to view it in the browser. I'll confirm that it works. And then I want to go to our run method that we've got down here in our run the game. So this one was looking for 44347, 44347. Okay, so it should have remained static. That should not have changed, which it didn't. So let's go ahead and run this one then too. So this is the actual server. We know the other one's running, so let's go ahead and go to run the game. This is going to take a while, I think, if it even works. Ah, okay. So null ref. So that means that that one failed immediately. It means that that one didn't return back a result. So their decision choice was a failed decision, which is fine for now. I like that it fails fast for us. We immediately know there's a problem. So
Yes.
I think it's this code right here is what fails because we did not successfully get a bot choice out of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll do this, and for now I'm going to throw an exception still because I want to fail fast here while we're in development. So I am going to throw an exception here so that instead of a null ref, we actually get we're going to get this message didn't get bot choice back from web API call. So we're going to throw that exception now instead. Exactly. Fail fast and iterate. What we don't want to do is sit around waiting for this thing to, complete all 1,000 rounds and then say like, oh, I bombed on the first one and every subsequent one. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and view that again. So it's running when it does its get. Let's see if it runs when it does its... Let's see if we get our new error message. There we go. Didn't get bot choice back from web API call. Cool. So now we've got a nice clear message.
Is it the on post is not actually doing anything?
Our post apparently isn't getting caught.
Do we have an output from the other browser or the other server?
Let's confirm. So let's try posting to that one, and we'll see what we get back.
Yeah.
Let's see what it does. I'm going to run Postman here. Hang on a sec. It's that URL. Okay. Yeah. Remind me later thing. Okay. No, don't need to save that. Okay. So, first off, I'm going to do a get against this. So, cannot get any response. What? Is it not running? Oh, do I not have localhost connections or something right now? Oh, SSL. Okay, got it. Yep.
Oh, is that what's blocked?
I wonder if that's what's blocking our other thing,
yeah,
too.
do we need to do the cert validation turn off?
Actually, let's do this. Here's how we'll check that. I'm going to go over here. Do that for now. What's the URL when it's not? Hang on. I'm going to check into this. Example bot, it's 60142. There we go. Yes, you are totally right. It is on by default now. So let's go ahead and change that. Now I should just be able to restart the server, I think, and it should work.
So how does that work? Is it actually it generates a SSL cert for you, but does it not add it to your? Yeah, does it not add it to your like cert store?
Yeah. Let me try this back in Postman again. To make sure this is actually running here. It should be. Could not get a response.
Hang
on. We're gonna.
Does it do automatically redirect to? Is there some code in there that?
Oh, yep, I'm forcing us onto it. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Self-sign to fix this by turning off self-sign. So settings general. Settings general. Turn off cert verification, please. There we go. Okay, so the get works. Well, that's weird because our get was working. So why was it able to get from that but not post to it?
Well, that could easily be the fact that the post method is incorrect too.
Could be. Let's take. So I'm going to jump back over here to our index again in example bot. I'm going to have post with data and post without data.
Yep.
No matter what, I want to try this just to see if that gets us the value that we need. So just to make sure that it actually rebuilt and ran it, I'm going to go ahead and view again. So there it goes. Let's try Postman. So we're posting to this, not sending any values, and I'm not getting anything back.
Is
So it's like my post method just isn't working. Huh. Let me do this. I'm just going to add in a Razor page. Let me grab a Razor page template and just see what it does with this. Let me see if it lets me do it without actually having a thing. Model class.
string.
Oh, no, it doesn't like that. It wants them to actually be real. It's kind of annoying. Huh. On post. Why isn't my on post working? My on post should be working. Route and app conventions. Handle post requests. Yes. Exactly.
Oh, post a message. Do we need the on post message?
No, I don't think so. That's like a handler method.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of annoying.
Oh, well, you know why I don't. What that shouldn't even work, right? Because you can't return a razor. Well, I guess you could return a razor page on post, but
Yeah, you should. You should totally be able to.
I wonder if they're forcing you to do like a page redirect or something.
We shouldn't have to do a page redirect, I wouldn't think.
Do you have to do that return page? That's a I don't know.
On post and hang on. Well, I mean, there's a way we could sort of cheat this if we wanted.
That's what I want to do. We need to actually do a return page. Does it think that on post it's going to return a? No, it's a razor thing. So I wonder. I don't know of all the.
Now here's what I'm going to do.
Let's go behind it.
I have a cheating way to do it.
Oh, you.
Well, actually, I was going to static it, but because alternately we could just, you know, redirect and show that value. So if we say this is an action result, right? So you're thinking that the problem is it doesn't want us to let this just be a void.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure of all what its semantics are here. So that's wondering if you just do a page, if you return page, will that work?
Yeah, so we might be able to get away with this. Let's try telling it that we're returning the page we're on. Right? This will return.
I would think it would figure it out, since it's basically like a code behind.
That just doesn't make sense. On post, bad request, challenge, file forbidden, local redirect, file not found, redirect. That doesn't make sense. It should just work. Alright, well, I will return page for now, even though I think that's not what we want. We'll try it and just see what happens.
These are supposed to be the stable bits, right?
Yeah, these are the stable bits. Post, nothing.
What comes back though? Like anything? No. What was the? We get like a response code
bad
even?
Request.
Is it because we have 2 on posts? Maybe we should get rid of the second one real quick.
Sure. Let's go ahead and... Oops, I'm compiling. Sorry, I compiled.
Need to just run .NET Watch. What are we doing?
I could, actually. And actually, since we did enable it to use the HTTPS one, I'm going to use it. So first off, let me do a get against it just to confirm. Okay, the get works, so it's there. Now do a post, and we get a 400 bad request. See, isn't that weird?
That is very strange.
So we're getting a 400 bad request on this with no response to why it's a bad request. So thanks, thing. We shouldn't actually need to send any data because we're saying we can post without any data. That's what our empty post is. If we remove this, make this back to a void, is that still the error we're getting? What was that? Control-Shift-W, that's what I did. Okay, let's jump over here again.
The one example I see uses actually a action result, not an action result. But I don't know if that makes a difference.
I don't think it should. Should be the same thing.
Is there...
That's a good so that is a very good question, OX539XD. Except that I don't think we do in this case, only because at least not for Postman, I wouldn't think.
That's what I was thinking too. It might end up being something CSRF related. Like it's already like they're trying to put you in the pit of success for that.
Could be, but I wouldn't.
So.
It could be.
But when you get that page, all you're getting back is that JSON blob. You're not actually getting. Are you getting like a CSRF token in the header at all on the GET request?
So we're passing nothing in the header, and then this is what we're getting back.
No, I don't see it then. What about the GET request?
When we do the GET request.
Yeah, what's one of the headers that come back? No.
Yeah. And Calvin, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Please enjoy your DevChatter hype emote. Yeah, so I'm not sure why that's giving us a problem there. Razor page on post 400 add request.
Oh, does it by default look for the forgery token even if it isn't specified?
Let's see what people said. Framework expects request verification token as part of the.
So we need to turn off that because it's because we're using like a Razor page. We actually what we probably just want is like a controller. Really, we don't.
Yeah, we can do a controller. It's just. It was just fun to do it as a Razor page.
No, we don't need a HTML page come back, right?
No, we don't.
We just need a response body.
Alright, we'll do a controller. Folder controllers. Add in a controller. Empty API controller, I guess.
Yep, I guess so.
Default controller. Sounds good. And just sit here and wait while Visual Studio does its thing.
Thinking.
Tea time with Darren. Today we are working on our code for our rock paper scissors boom project, which is essentially this is a competition where anybody can submit a bot to compete in this special version of rock paper scissors. So in here, we have public void. Actually, we'll say public action result. What do we want to call this?
I guess this is the.
What is it? I'm trying to remember how the action API how the API controller works. I think it's one of those. I just realized we created this way, and I should have just done a template. Why did I make empty?
Yeah, just do a normal template, and then we can just spit back whatever we want. Yep.
There we go. Default controller. There we go. That'll be much better. Yeah, so Tea Time with Taryn, the fun part there is that we're going to make it so that anybody else who's in chat is able to... okay, so it is just get and post. Yeah, I was pretty sure that's what it was. Like,
yep.
I haven't actually touched this in, like, years. So yes, get and post. But this actually gives us all of them as we want them. We do not want delete. No deleting, no putting. Oh, actually, we might be putting. That might be what we end up calling. The reason I say that is because that might be how you specify the match ID that it's associated with. So if we maintain a match ID, that might be how we do it.
On the initial?
No, I was thinking on each one. So like post creates it, and then put is what is going to be like... So your first one, it might be posted, but then you put all the other ones maybe? Although we might just put each time, right? That's kind of what I was thinking.
So are you going to be saying we need even have two different calls, one for like start a game and one's for continuing games?
Sure. Although maybe we just let's
Uh,
just do a post for now because the client
yeah,
is more built for that.
yeah. I almost think that would be just better served as separate routes potentially.
And our get is just going to be here for debugging purposes anyway. So I'm going to leave that as is.
Yeah, maybe the get request should be like version info eventually.
What is this? So this is return JSON. There is a... Isn't there a JSON data, something or other? Thought there was a helper in this, if I can remember correctly.
It has like a JSON response, or
Yeah, it was something like that.
is there like a response dot?
Yeah, so we could set it. Oh,
Well,
this
like
is...
I wonder if it's like a method hanging off of that
Oh,
one.
it's just the type now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess it could. And then
Yeah, we could just return a string.
what's handling the content or content type there?
If we just return one of those, could we just return that and then be done with it? Is that how it works? Man, I haven't messed with these in so many years now.
Yeah, no, I actually haven't done
I think it's
ASP
that.
down at MVC in quite a while either.
Isn't it that? Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
Maybe.
I think it's this.
It probably returns JSON by default because
Yeah.
it's probably not XML.
No, I did not mean to click on that. There we go. Alright, so that should make that work. So we now should respond with rock no matter what. So now this should be on, and actually let's just so we know that we have changed, I'm going to make this one always return paper. So those return paper. Now let's go ahead and run this thing. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the bot. And when this runs, we want to go to /API, I think. No, is it? It's not. It's not API.
Should be API /
Default.
maybe default.
There it is. So
All right.
paper, perfect. Everybody can tell that's paper, right?
Yep.
We can't tell that's paper.
That's the universal symbol for paper. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 546, clearly paper.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in order to make this work, let's go ahead and try connecting this in our run the game CS/HTML. We're going to go ahead and put it right here. Find a way to make paper 451. Oh, yeah, 450 Fahrenheit. Yes, temperature. Got it, I got it. That might be possible, Greendolf. That'd be a clever little thing to have in there. I want to go to here and view it. And we'll see what we end up with when we go to run the game. Oh, whoa, we didn't fail immediately. I wonder if it's actually running.
I think it is.
Yeah, so the reason this takes a little while is it's got to make 1,000 web requests. Now, yeah, it's 1,000 web requests on local, but still, it's 1,000 new web requests. It's not going to be fast.
Mm-mm.
And in fact, we're going to want to make sure that we keep this HTTP client alive for the whole match, which I don't think we do yet. So it would be a good idea to do that. I just realized a problem that I'm going to want to fix. We have a bug, Jimmy.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we're gonna need to fix that bug. Wow, that's slow. That's really
Yeah.
slow. That's really, really slow.
What is that running on? Is it actually Kestrel or?
Yeah, it should be Kestrel.
Hmm.
Alright, so Rockster the example bot failed horribly. It must be getting invalid data. That's all I can conclude from this. It must be invalid, because that's the only reason it would lose that much.
It would have to be, yeah.
Yeah.
So is what we're returning on the post still not coming back, right? We not check with Postman.
Yeah, let's check out Postman and see what we're getting. So first off, that is our get there, but we want to do API/default. So from 641 to 546. And now if we post to this instead, the input was not valid. But at least it gave us an object. So we didn't have an option on our post for what to do when they didn't give us anything, did we? So
Did we not?
Let's go check it out. We didn't write our controller yet, really. So let's take a look at it. So we looked for a string value.
Oh yeah,
That's not
we
what
were
we
actually
want.
looking for anything. We want to look for nothing.
We want to look for nothing, but we also want to look for the previous thing. Because we send both. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this line. Because we're going to comment that one out. And then, because we're going to save that. Because I want to make sure that I remember that we're going to do a from body on that, probably. Now we are going to... No. Keyboard shortcut work. My keyboard shortcut won't work. I don't know why it won't work.
Because I'm on a Mac.
It could be. It could be.
That's totally interfering.
We'll blame that. Okay, so that's working. Let's try it here. Post with nothing. Hey, okay, the nothing post works.
Awesome.
So maybe now, when we do this, it will work as well. So that's still spinning there.
Ooh, buddy. That's some slowness for sure.
Yep. That's why we need to speed this up. Definitely a good idea to speed this up. So, yeah, we want to do our song and dance routine now, while we wait for this, or... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Some kind of error. That's not a bad thing, necessarily.
No. Look at that.
Null ref. Interesting. Weird. Huh. Game runner, line 55. I'd love to see what that bombed on. Line 55, right here. Oh, here's the foo method. What did we do here? Get match results by player? Is that what we did? Get match. Get full results by player.
So does that mean winner or loser could be null?
Yeah, winner or loser must be null, which is really weird. They shouldn't ever be able to be null. But wait, if they failed on line 55... Hang on.
Does...
No, winner name and loser name, can those really be null?
Are those being mutated anywhere?
If they were null, we would have bombed on line 47 or 48, wouldn't we? Or maybe this hasn't really been resolved. Hang on. They hadn't been resolved until that point.
Hmm.
Oh wait, all names isn't even used in there.
Distinct should be given you. Those
Yeah,
should be resolved.
Yeah, those should be resolved. So those aren't null. And they're coming from the same set, so it's coming from the same collection here, right?
Collection, yeah, so...
Which means that winner and loser are not null. Match result itself must be null. But no, but then you can't wear on it? What is null? Alright, I just want to tell you that I get so mad at Microsoft about the fact that it will not freaking tell me what is null in my null reference exception.
You know how Microsoft solved this, right?
They wrote F#.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, the other thing... So yeah, Greendorf, you agree with me. Now, here is the complaint that I have. So, I was told one time when yelling at the C# team, I was yelling at them about the fact that they don't tell me this. And they're like, but we don't have the name at the time that's running. And I'm like, do you have the type? Tell me the type. What do you have at that point? You have something. Like, there's not zero info right then.
It's null info.
Yeah, thanks. They know the type of that. They know the type of that object. They've got to know that it run. Like, I'm pretty sure they know it. And since they know the type, they can tell me what type it was that was null. Because if they told me it was an IEnumerable of something that was null versus a string that was null, that would really narrow down what the problem was.
So do we just gotta abuse the Elvis operator here and hope it works?
Yeah, we could. I don't know. It's just annoying. Anyway, according to this, you can't say what was null in exception because you can't know what was null because it's null. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Greendorf. That person didn't understand that we don't want to know what the value of the null was. We want to know what type of how it was stored, because C# keeps track of types. It's a type-safe language, which means that there is a type for a value even when it has the constant value of null. The object itself still has a value. So a null string and a null full results, for example, are not equal, despite the fact that null is a constant. Pretty sure they don't match up. Yes. Yeah, there's supposed to be some updates around the handling of null, Chusk. But I certainly didn't see it right there. So, non-nullable reference types are coming to... Yes, Greendorf. Yes, exactly. Non-nullable types. I want to be able to say in my method, this object is not null. You can't give me a null. It will never be null. And then I don't have to use, as Jimmy said, the Elvis operator everywhere. And for anyone who doesn't know what he was talking about, he was suggesting that we do this. So you use $dot, and that is essentially the way of saying, hey, if this is null, I want you... So it's called the null conditional operator, actually, and it performs null propagation. So essentially it means, hey, if my value is null, don't error out, just, make everything to the right, just continue propagating that null to the right. So essentially at each step you just, add another dot, and then this effectively ends up being a null value here. So, apparently my bot crashed a while ago, and I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't watching the bot, so I'm not surprised. But now Crimson tried to use a command on the bot, and it didn't work. That explains why no one was playing rock, paper, scissors all day. Okay. There we go. So feel free to play a game of Hangman, everyone, while we try and figure this out. So the question is, did we get any values before that failed? And I think the answer is yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a breakpoint in our Web API bot implementation right here, because I want to see if this worked at all. Greendorf, potentially yes, once it has a web part. Oh, I think I know the word.
You know what just happened?
Sniped.
When you launched that, it tried to launch it from my machine too.
Oh, sweet.
Which I don't have a local host up at all. This is not running on my machine.
That's weird. Okay. Post async. What was our result?
I got an okay. It's back.
Decision. 546.
Looks right.
Oh. Wait. 546. That's wrong.
Oh, we're hitting the wrong.
How's the wrong one working now? 546 is rock, not paper. Isn't it? Or maybe it's not. I don't remember.
I think you changed them, but I don't know what you had.
Yeah, this is the problem, is I can't tell them apart. Let's step one more time. We'll see what it is. Bot choice. Maybe I'm misremembering. Nope, it's paper.
Paper.
Okay, so it's hitting the right one. Well, that's awesome. So it works now. Ish. I mean, ish, right? No. Yeah, Crimson, I just sniped. Yeah, I sniped it out when you did your GM. Because I'm a terrible person like that. I think this is running. Did you trigger it or did I? I don't even know. It's so confusing. Wait, the null ref name feature requires that you're targeting full framework? Ugh.
Of course
but
it
I want
is.
to run .NET Core. Why can't you get that to me in .NET Core, guys? .NET Core is the future. Yeah, don't type in there. I think it's running. I need to toss a breakpoint. Yep, it's going.
Yep, still running.
I know what our problem is. It's that I'm recreating a new client for every decision. That's why it's taking forever. Okay, so now we're here. All right,
yeah,
so
don't
we're at
want to
this
do that.
point. Match results. What is match results? Wait, but I'm stopped here, right?
We are.
Okay, match results are not null. That's interesting. It's breaking here now, so that's actually better. Because this makes more sense. Remember before we were like, how would we possibly get there? It should break down here.
It should. And so I don't think I have access to like a stack trace. So where does this? What's this get called by? So the match results. So are we never, or is there times when we're not actually setting the winner or the loser?
I don't know. I thought we'd set it every time.
So so I'm wondering, where do we create these match results?
It's a good question. Let's go up the stack a little bit.
Oh, search doesn't work from my side either. That's great.
Match results. They came in from here. They're right here. From run match, we got a match result when we did our run match call.
Okay, so let's go to the run match.
Get match result. Winner. Loser is the other player. So the only way it could be null is if player 1 or player 2 was null.
And you're doing a dot first, so winner has to be something.
Yep, that's exactly. That cannot be a first. It's not a first or default, so it can't be a null value. And player 1 and player 2 sure as crap shouldn't be null. That'd be absurd.
Mm.
Crimson Green, I think you need to relearn your cardinal directions there, buddy. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's go ahead and stop this again.
So get match result, that means things got to be coming in from there, coming in null, right?
Yeah, they'd have to come in here null. But either way, I'm stopping it so we can restart, get a new thing running. Okay, I did not mean to type that. I keep doing that because it's like automatically running it, and I'm not sure why. I'm actually kind of confused by the fact that it is running this right away. So I want to be able to view player 1, and I want to see player 2. And then I want to see down here, I want to see winner, and actually, I think I'm only going to catch down here. I want to see winner and loser. So let's see winner, because that's the one that should matter, which it's null before it's set, right? Because that's how C# works there. But the first means that we're always getting a value. It would throw an exception there if there were a problem. So let's grab matchResult.loser then also. So we're going to view these values in our watch window. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to hit that spot. So we're just verifying that none of these are ever null.
Have they improved break conditionals yet?
Are you messing with the break conditional or something?
I'm not.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to go do, but it just like totally locked up on me right now.
Is it? It's probably live share.
Yeah, I think it's live share messing with something. Okay, I just removed the breakpoint. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to put it back. Let me see if I can condition is true. So we're going to say player 1 equals null. And what it's going to be, or player 2 equals null, or winner equals null. And we'll assume that this, since it applies those, loser would only be null if, you know, the other ones were. So we're going to put in those. So that's our conditional. Let's see if we ever hit that now. Because this is a conditional breakpoint, has that condition on it. I'm going to go ahead and let this continue. And we should, so that's got a little plus on it. That means it's actually a conditional. We should now be waiting while this runs. And we'll see what we get here. Anybody saying anything in chat about this? Thanks,
yeah,
Greenbelt.
they're really useful, but sometimes they are slow. So that's the only thing about conditional breakpoints.
Winner is null. There. How in the heck?
Is there a
which
bug in
means
the
that
first implementation?
no, that means there really is a first value, and the value in the first one is
Oh.
null.
Are we not doing a... We're doing a
Okay,
group by
so
winner.
yeah, there must have been. So that, oh, that's the tie. We didn't handle the tie. There's our bug. We hit a tie. Yeah, Maestro. So, all right.
Unit test time.
Yeah, we need one on this. What is this on? So this is run match. This is gonna get messier, but let's do it anyway. So, at least I think that's what's causing this. We'll find out. So, match runner tests. Run match should. Let's put in a tie, just to make sure. Work correctly.
Work correctly, yes. Isn't that all unit tests?
Yes. Let's see. Not throw exception given tie. So, here's what we're going to do. We have rock only against rock only. It's clearly what we're going to do. That should be a tie every single time. I'm not sure what we're going to expect on that. I'm just going to run this and see if we get our exception first off. Yeah.
I don't think we're getting an exception here, right? Because this is just going to have something null.
It was our null. It was our null ref that we were throwing.
Yeah, but it's hitting a null ref later. It's not going to throw.
Right. You're right. It's not the match result.
So we need to check winner isn't null.
No, because we do it here. When we run match, it should blow up in here. Isn't this when it did this? Oh no, you're right.
No, it's way farther down.
Yeah, so we need to make sure there's no null winner in it. You're right. Well, in that case, we might actually want it lower. Is it valid to have no winner?
Oh, if you have a tie, right? So this is...
Yeah, in the case of a tie, there should be no winner. So, alright, so let's check.
Do we have access to the...
We'll do this.
Let's see.
We'll say winner and loser should be null on this. Not set winner and loser. But then I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. We might have to change something. Yeah, Greendorf. I agree. I think what we need to do is we need to have player 1 and player 2 and be specifying which one won on our match result.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could use a discriminated union here from F#. This would give us this possibility. Because then you could say, hey, when it returns, you give... It's basically either a tie, a win, and you know who. If you're not familiar with like discriminated unions, they're basically like enums with data in them, where you could actually put real good data inside of them. A little bit more complicated than that, but you can think of them that way.
Yes, exactly, Greendorf. But then we also need to have the player. So we need to be like... So we need to have player 1 and player 2, and then have winners that are separate. Player 1, since we do need to keep track of them, so we do need to know who was in it, but then you're right, we should indicate winner as a separate thing. So prop.
We do have that decision, right? We do have that, so you could actually check knowing. Oh, we have that. What was it, the round result? We probably need like a match result for that. What's the one? The match round outcome? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Probably need like a match outcome.
Oh yeah, you're right. Match outcome. Yep. Match outcome.
You could get away with it that way. Then you have to force people to check the match outcome before looking at things.
Yeah, so if we make this an enum, then we end up with player 1, player 2, and neither, or tie. But what do you think about that? Is that too obtuse?
So I mean, basically the only way you can go about doing this is you're gonna have to force people to either check the enum and then select player 1 or 2, or neither, or you're end up gonna having to have some type of like abstract class with some interface with a bunch of implementers that you have to kind of coerce to a different type.
Are you following me on the code? Do you see what
Yep.
I'm changing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So you have to check if you want access to one of those players and know which one. You'll have to check that, which seems fair.
Yeah. So we're saying player 1 in this one also? No, player 2, player 1 should be, nope, these are backwards. Player 2, player 1. Player 1 is scissors, player 2 is rock, and the winner is rock, so player 2 wins.
Yep.
Um,
And then we can go down and keep fixing the other ones. Oh yeah, that needs a good name.
Orders. Handle player 2 winning. Right?
Sure.
I just wanted to make sure that it's like, yes, we can do both, because we did player 1 and player 2.
Yep.
So then this one, player 1, we don't want it to be null.
Nope.
Player 1 should be rock. Underscore rock. And that one's also rock, as this bot is going to face itself. Player 2. And then winner should be neither. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. Now to change everywhere that we had winner and loser written.
Mass refactoring time.
I do not like having to refactor this much in this commit. This is scary. Oh, and it's oh yeah, figures. It's over here in tests. Do you want to help me get to some of these?
Sure. Let's see. Which ones do you need me to take out?
I don't know.
Because, let's see, does the output show
actually, none
on mine?
tests.
Okay. Yeah, the output doesn't show on mine too well.
So on this one, we're just going for, this is just names, so this is going to be player 1 names. This is going to be player 2 names. Now, So this doesn't make a big difference. That's player 1 and player 2 names, so that's an easy one. And then we want to find them whether they were player 1 or player 2. And it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So that's player 1 name equals name. Yeah, so Austin post real. We are making a system to play rock, paper, scissors between bots. So essentially we're going to allow you to make your own AI to compete, is the idea. So it's not exactly rock, paper, scissors. We added some more stuff in, so there's dynamite and water balloon that'll make it a little more interesting. Do we need to change this one? That's wins and losses. That's your bot record, is your number of wins and your number of losses. So
we need to change.
So this is the number
we're selecting on.
So we want to find the ones where you are player 1 and winner is player 1.
Yep. So we need the match result is player 1. Yep. I don't think you want to do player 1, player 2. You want to do
so actually
match
we want
outcome.
to do this. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna wait on that one to write it. So here's what we want to do. We want to say, we want to make. There's two conditionals here.
Oh yes.
There's the first conditional.
Yep. Need that. Yep.
Which is you are player 1, and the winning player equals player 1. So these are your wins as player 1. And then we want to say or, and we're going to want to fix up this logic because it's getting a little ugly here.
Yeah.
And there might be a simpler way to write this, but for now this ought to work.
Yep, I think that looks pretty right.
So that should work.
It's because you basically want to have a cross product
Austin,
of
it would be similar to that, yes. Okay, so losses would be the reverse of this. Where it was player 2 and player 1.
Yep. That looks about right. I'm hoping we have tests around this.
Ties we do. We should have tests around most things. The ties are anyone where just the match outcome was neither.
Yep.
So we don't even care who the players were for this one. So we don't even need to look at that. So there's ties. We're not using ties yet. So I'm going to write to do use this. We don't report it yet. That's one of the features that we still need to build. Wouldn't it be better to ask a match result if a player is a winning player? Yes, it would be. We will probably do that, but this is just make what we've got today work, and then we'll refactor and fix it. So, does this compile now? That's the shortest way to fix the error, is to just make this one work. So we have a couple more error spots. And actually, you are correct. I'm going to put a to-do on here and say do move the am I the winner logic to the match result.
Yep, that'd be good. Encapsulate it there.
Yep, so we're going to leave that to do there for now. Come back to it once we get these errors fixed. Fix the errors first. Okay, so in this one, so this was figuring out which player is which, but I think we may not care in this case. This is get match result from round results. Okay, so first off, we can do this right off the bat. So we can set player 1 and player 2 in our match result right away. So I'm just going to do that. Player 1 equals player 1, and player 2 equals player 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change, so we figure out who the winner is. So we're going to say, if, if winner equals null, then we're going to say match result dot winning player equals neither. Which actually, now that I think about it, technically we could write this a different way.
So is this is the place where we're going to say they've won the match and
Yes.
from many rounds? So should we be looking at who won the most rounds?
Yeah, is that not what we're doing? Is our logic wrong?
I don't know. What is winner on the result? Oh, okay. So does the round result, does that not have an outcome as well? Round result has a winner, a player 1, player 2, and decisions. Okay, so it doesn't actually have the outcome.
Yeah, so its is just it's a slightly it has a slightly different structure.
Okay.
So
Yes.
So there are a number of cases where we have some spots that we need to refactor and fix up. So we know that.
Yep.
But then again, we accept pull requests for anybody that's interested. All this code is actually out on GitHub. Everything we do on DevChatter is out on GitHub. We have a handful of projects. This one being a relatively new one, we don't have a lot of direction. So if people did want to jump in on this one, it's pretty much jump in and do things that seem logical based on what we need. So winner is... okay, so to determine the winner, here's what we're going to have to do. Whoops. We want to say match result dot winning player that's a good question. How do we write this then?
Should we put that on the match result? We probably should. Select winner, select loser. Put that logic in there.
Yeah. Alright, we'll add it in for now. I didn't want to touch this yet. Okay, so...
It won't be serializable, but...
Well, no, actually, so... Hang on. Here's a thought. Let's go back to that page again. We're on here.
Mm-hmm.
We could create this as another model when we're in the back end of this.
Oh, we do have a run game model somewhere, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's right here. So
okay.
We have our full results, which is the thing that has these values in it, and it has the match results in it, but they don't have to be that. They could be something else. So
okay, yeah.
It gets set right here somewhere. Where did my cursor go? Right there. So we just assign that collection to this, but we could create this in some other way. We could make full results, because this is really just a display, as far as I know.
Yep.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a constructor. We're going to set bot name on it. String bot name. And actually, let's go ahead and start off by assigning that. And then the next thing I want to do is pass in this collection. So this will actually be the variable that we take in right here, but we're going to change these into something else. Instead of having them be match results, it'll take one in and it'll give us something a little nicer. than a match result. So that's designed for display. For now.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll just map all those. We're probably going to want to copy that logic, or at least encapsulate that somewhere to determine what the winner and loser.
Sure. Let me do this for now. What is this? That name is terrible. Please come up with a better one if you can. Winner name. Loser name. How do we want to display a tie? So we're showing these results. We're showing the individual match results, and we're not splitting based on. We're not changing based on this. So you have winner name and loser name.
So if we're going to, are we going to try to encapsulate actually handling ties now, or we want to just focus on that later?
Well, how do we? Well, let's say that we get a tie. How do we want to display it? What do we want to show on the page? Do we think? And people in chat, feel free to make suggestions on any of this.
So what we have in the page before. So this particular thing showing the bot 1 played these 3 bots and showing the outcomes from that.
Yeah, so we're showing the thing of like who won and who lost for each match. So currently it just lists the name. It's
So you really need like a name of the player you played against and then the outcome, right?
Yeah, the challenge is that I don't want to write player 1. I want to say who won. So I guess we could say player 1, player 2. So if we change this to... Actually, that's a good point. We could just do this, and then we don't need to write that. Player 1, player 2, player 1. Whoops. Don't know what that was. And then...
Just need the outcome. What do we call it? Winning player. Yep.
Let's see how that writes. At which point we don't really need the thing we were just doing.
Yeah, you may have to enum that to string or whatever, but...
Alright, let's see if it compiles now.
Hooray.
Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to run the site again. So let's view this, see what happens. Cross your fingers. This might be slow still. Actually, it will still be slow, but we need to optimize that code so this is a little faster next time, so we don't have to wait quite so long.
What do you mean? 60 seconds per test isn't it great?
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? This is fantastic performance. This is wonderful. Alright, everybody, we can play some Hangman in the chat. So keep in mind that we do also build a chatbot in here. So the chatbot is now running, playing Hangman. So feel free to take your guesses on what you think letters might be in there. Oh, there's an E. Second letter's an E. Don't know what that word is. No, no G. Oh, wait, hang on. It's gotta be, oh, that's already been guessed. Oh, man, I'm worried this is an evil one. No, it was Team City. Oh, it was Team City. There you go. Bummer.
You all lost. Oh, there we go.
Okay, cool. So it ran, didn't blow up. Clever
And of
bot
course
still
our
winning.
labeling was, we just copy and pasted the labeling there.
Rando Cal. Oh yeah, yes. So my label's a little wrong. That's okay. Luckily, it doesn't run every time we get the page. You know. Oh wait.
That's nice that it printed out as a string, so that's good.
Yeah, it did what we wanted. I just got it labeled wrong. Alright, so Rocky all washed up player 1. Which, it'd be nice if we grabbed player 1's name when it did that. So winning player. So, which we can make that work. Oh man, that word is long. What is that? Holy cow. What is going on? What is that word? Is this broken? I don't remember a word that long. I'm wondering if it like duplicated the word.
It did. Record. I don't know. Nice.
Recursion. Yeah. But let's did I put it in there as recursion? Were we
Good.
that evil or something? I don't remember. Or did it just or is there a bug that I don't know about? I'm not sure which that one is, everybody. Either way, I definitely want to get a commit on this right now, because this is crazy right now. So let's go to the code behind this. We're going to comment this line out for now, so that because I don't want to commit it with connecting that one, so hence I'm going to turn that off, because we're not doing any kind of data-driven approach to that just yet. So here's what we're going to do. So this is stabilizing the web API bot and handling ties better. That's what we're going to commit. We're going to put it on. Oh, did I merge in that code for random bot? I forget if I did or not.
Thought you did, but we'll see.
I think so. Okay, I think random bot is in there. Let me just fetch just to be sure. Okay. Now let's get ourselves on a new branch. We're going to call this API bot. For now, new branch API bot. There we go. Okay. Wait, I'm quieter than Jimmy right now? Oh, that could be. Well, that's an easy fix then. I made Jimmy quieter. Is that better? Hey, Jimmy, want to talk?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
How about now?
How about now?
Okay, there you go. I lowered Jimmy's volume a little bit, so now Jimmy can't talk over me as much. Yeah, we adjusted those a while ago. I might have bumped my mic away from me or something. Who knows? So we did our initial adjustment before starting the stream. So well, that's actually good, because if his volume's back down, that means I can click buttons like you know, this one. Oh wow, that is super quiet right now. You guys probably could barely even hear that.
I did not hear it.
Yeah, you don't get to hear any of the sounds that I click.
Oh, I don't? That's good.
Yep. Yeah, so everybody else gets to hear the sounds except Jimmy. Sorry. Although they only barely get to hear him because the volume's super low right now, because I think I don't know. I'll have to check out the volume settings. I have to readjust all of those, I think. Okay, so We added that one in. Let's pick up the performance on this. So step one, we want a named connection to this based on name, I think. What is this? Create client? Can we just, is there like a get client?
Do you have to do it once per one of these classes? You could probably just do it then.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
This
Although that
HTTP
could still be
client stuff
messy.
is just, yeah, this HTTP client stuff is a nightmare. I can't remember all the semantics around how to deal with it.
They cleaned it up actually with this.
Did they?
So yeah, so it new in like .NET Core, they just updated how this all works to make it a little bit nicer.
Are we going to have to make bots disposable?
Yes. Certainly this one.
Just do dispose on the constructor or the destructor.
Yes, Chusk, we are. Yes. Yep, we know. Yes. Yep, we are. That's because one of the things we need to go back through and do everywhere is make all of these methods async, and wait, what is Jimmy washing his mouth out? What did he say a swear word? I didn't hear him.
Maybe.
Did he say JavaScript? We don't allow that word here. That's a bad word.
I've already said that once or twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dispose in the constructor. Yeah. I think he was kidding.
And not in the constructor, the destructor. Come on.
Yeah.
Follow along.
Or let's not do that either. We could just, disposable. Although I'm not going to do that right now. So we're going to let this thing be leaky for now, and it'll be fine. We'll be okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Maybe that'll speed it up a little bit. So let's run this again. And then I need to go to this one because I just realized we wanted to turn that on. So view that again. And just in case, I'm going to get our bot running. So this is the example bot that we have here. And it's going. So now let's go to run the game and see what happens.
All right, so you got your Jeopardy music?
Oh, actually no. It should be in there, but I don't have it right now. I would turn it on, but I was messing with my Stream Deck, and I don't have Jeopardy as one of the buttons right now. So,
boo.
yeah, but so we can be sad about it, about the fact that we don't have Jeopardy music. So everybody else can hear how sad it is right now on the stream. I'm waiting for like tears to show up. Actually, the button I pressed to make that sad music, just so you guys know, it looks like this. Oh, I can't do it. No. Hang on. It looks like that. It looks like that. Sorry, guys. That's the one. So, yes, my sub-orn. All right, come on, let's go. This is, maybe we should have timed this to see how long it was taking.
Yeah, I don't know if that might be part of it though.
Well, that's part of the reason why I want to connect SignalRs, because I think it's going to go faster. But
I mean, part of it too is like
done.
basically what needs to happen is each bot needs to play each bot in its own task.
Yes, exactly. We need them all to be. We need to be running all of them at the same time. We need to parallelize this so that they all just go. That's what will make it much faster. which we can probably handle that way.
Yeah, because 1,000 web requests, if that's running Kestrel, that should not be a problem. That should be really quick. And
Yes.
so it wouldn't be the server side. It's definitely whatever we're doing on
Yeah,
the
we exactly. So part of
local.
the thing is we do need those 1,000 to be in order. Like they need to happen.
Hmm.
Like those all need to go in order. So we can't like say, oh,
Correct.
just like play, because everything every decision previously made matters for the future ones. That's how the bots
Correct.
determine what the other ones are doing. Um, so all right. Well, either way, I think. Let me just go ahead and check that. I think we've been running for about 3 hours now, so I think that's probably where we should stop for the day.
Yep.
We're at a reasonable point, so I'm amazed Jimmy stuck around with us this long. So he's a trooper up there,
Yep.
and I want to thank everybody else for showing up too. Uh, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and say some nice things to all the folks in chat?
I'm glad everyone showed up. I hope you learned something. If not, you can contact me or contact Brendan. Really, just contact him because I probably don't want to listen to it. No.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't want to answer your questions.
If you have any questions though on like F sharp, when to get started, where to learn it, you can always ping me at Jimmy_Byrd. You can see it on
It
the
says that
little
under his
screen
name.
thing. Yep, just in case. It's really hard to know what my Twitter handle is based off my real name.
Also, the
But
next time we bring Jimmy on, we're gonna force him to actually do F sharp with us.
I probably will. I'll probably like that.
All right, sounds good. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and kick Jimmy out of here and then do my outro. So, bye,
Bye,
Jimmy.
y'all.
Thanks for hanging out. See ya.
See ya.
Hello, everyone. Jimmy is gone. We can talk about him now. There's no way he's in the. There's no way he's in Twitch and listening to any of this. That's definitely not the case. Hang on while I kick him out of here so he doesn't like change everything inside of my Visual Studio. Okay, so on my outro, I want to thank everybody who followed or subscribed or anything like that today, and I want to thank C Sharp Fritz for the host today. And I want to thank everybody who is chatting, who is contributing, who is doing everything that makes this show awesome. You are all great. Yeah, Greendorf. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an outro here. The couple of things that I want to mention. If you are watching and you're interested in any of the code, you want to contribute, you want to help out, you notice something that I was doing that's stupid and you want to tell me why and fix it, because yes, if you're going to tell me I did something stupid, you have to have a way to fix it. Then go check it out on GitHub. It's github.com/devchatter, which you can find over here. So this is what it looks like when you go there. The project we were working on today was Rock, Paper, Scissors, Boom, which you can go ahead and take a look. You'll notice from it just being a straight spike right there that we just started this project, so it's an interesting one. Our usual project is our DevChatter bot that we spend a decent amount of time on. That is the bot that is actually in chat with us, and you'll see it's got this list of all these things. People are running commands on it and stuff like that. So that's actually what is, helping us out in chat here. Runs our games, does other things like that. And then if you want to take a look at what is going on in the channel and what we're going to be doing in the future, you can go to our stream info repository, which is right here. And in this, you'll see that we have schedules of upcoming stuff. So today we were just doing our pair programming with Jimmy Byrd. And then hopefully everybody will be able to be back on Saturday because we're going to be looking at generating static sites using YM with Dave Glick. So that is going to be fun. We're going to build a static site and take a look at that. And he's going to tell us all about how this works. Dave Glick is the, I guess, person behind this .NET project that generates these sites. And I believe it's all open source, so we could actually take a look at the code. Why is the GitHub thing not working? There we go. So over here, you'll see that we have his source code for all of this stuff. So you'll find all that available here. So he'll be able to talk to us about that. And then next week, I'm hoping to get another pair programmer on one of these days. But next Tuesday, we're going to have Maxime talking to us about Azure. So that is going to be fun. If possible, maybe we will even deploy the site that we build together on Saturday. So, what else did I want to do? And Crimson Green for his elite ban hammer skills. We want to thank him for that. He did not ban hammer anyone today because no one needed it, and that is perfect ban hammering skills there. Don't ban hammer people that don't need it. Other things I want to mention. If you are interested in chatting with any of us after the stream is over, go ahead and check out our Discord. Discord is a chat application that's commonly used by gamers. So it's got voice chat as well as text chat. And if you hop on over there, you will find that there are some of us who talk about code over there. So you can head over there if you want to chat with us. You can click the link I just posted over there, or it might be down below or somewhere else. Just go ahead and take a look for one. The other thing I want to mention is if you ever miss one of our streams and you want to see what we were doing before, you want to catch some of our old ones, take a look at that, you can go to the videos section here on Twitch to find that. And if the video that you're looking for is not on Twitch, it might also be on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and you'll be able to see our videos there. So we make sure that our videos get over there so that they are archived somewhere, because Twitch will only keep them for so long. So that is what we recommend. And you can follow us on Twitter, and either way, I want to thank everybody for showing up, talking, chatting, just watching. If you sat silently, that's fine too. And we will see you all on Saturday, because our streams are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, pretty much every week, as long as I'm not, sick or out of town. So, either way, have a great one, everybody, and happy coding.